All right, so the same way I did in the night game section, I'm going to list the most common concerns that might come up when you try to bring a woman home in the daytime, and then I'm going to teach you how to answer them properly so that if she is at all interested and available logistically, she will come home with you, okay? Now, remember, when she gives you these concerns, they're not rejections, okay? She's not rejecting you, she has concerns, and you need to solve them. You need to logically solve them and show her that everything's going to be okay. And if she's still not ready after you answer them, then you're going to shift back to creating more of the connection, make her feel even more comfortable. And when she is more comfortable, then you're going to push for the pull again, okay? And keep in mind that you might come across many of these in the same interaction, or you might not come across any of them, right? Or you might come across one or two, or you might have to answer the same ones multiple times, right? You might, let's say, answer them, and then she's still not comfortable. You try to pull her again. She gives the concerns again. You answer them again. She's not ready still. You make her more comfortable. You answer them again, and now she is ready, okay? So I hope that's clear. Don't bail out simply because she has some concerns. It's on you as the man to make the girl feel really comfortable and make the whole thing make sense to her, because most women won't know how to do it on their own. They just won't, okay? Now let's start going over them and really make sure you know them so well, because you want to be able to answer them right away, okay? The moment they come up, you should be able to solve it immediately, and then you should be good to go, all right? So I hope that makes sense. Let's get into it. The first one is, she might say, I don't have time because I have somewhere to be. She could be on her way to meet her friend. She could be running errands. Maybe she has a meeting or she's on her way back to work, okay? The fact is, when you invited her, she had some plans going on. She felt she had a place to be. Okay, so you're going to try to encourage her to do whatever it is later if it's not totally urgent. Meaning, let's say she's on her way to work. It's a completely different situation if she doesn't want to get fired from her job for going late than it is if, let's say, she's on her way to do shopping at the grocery store. She could do that later most of the time, okay? And if that's the case, if she's on her way to the grocery store, it's okay to be a little bit pushy and show her that, well, you should come first here because you're a great situation that can't wait. Now, so what you're going to say is, don't worry, look, you could do that later. The grocery store isn't going to be gone in an hour. Just come for like 20, 30 minutes. And whenever you're ready to go, whenever you want to leave, I'll make sure you get back, okay? I'll walk you back if you want, or I'll get you an Uber, whatever's easier, okay? And you're going to want to use the same approach even if she's on her way to meet someone, like her friend, okay? So if she's on her way to meet them, try to get her to reschedule, or try to tell them that she's running late. Have her tell them she's running late, okay? Also, if you have a wingman and she can't ditch the friend, then see if you could bring the girl along, the friend along, and have your wing occupy them. And obviously, you're going to want to screen to make sure the friend's not going to be a problem. And you're going to need to see the pull on the friend as well to make sure they know what's up. Next one, she could say, well, who drinks in the daytime? Or I can't drink in the daytime. And obviously, that would be something that she would say if you invited her to get drinks in the daytime, which is something I said I like to do depending on what's going on in my life. And, what she's basically saying is, look, that's not normal. People don't do that. And that's not true at all, okay? Plenty of people do. So you're going to say, what are you talking about? Have you ever heard of a happy hour? Okay, look, we don't have to black out, but if we have a glass or two, that won't kill anyone, all right? So plus there's all these venue qualifiers at my home, and they're going to be really cool because of all these reasons, right? So for example, if I were to fill in those blanks, because obviously you're not going to say venue qualifiers and say for all these reasons, you're going to say, what are you talking about? Plenty of people drink in the daytime. Have you ever heard of day drinking or a happy hour? Look, we don't have to black out, but we could have a glass of wine or two. And plus I have a really nice rooftop and some nice couches. It would be really comfortable to hang out as we overlook the nice view. We could relax easily, and it'll just be a really nice experience. We'll have a lot of fun, trust me. Okay, and then you're going to tell her also, if you want, about how much more fun and relaxed day drinking is than drinking at night, because you're not as likely to get as trashed in the daytime as you will at night, and you're also not going to be out till really late. So you could say, yeah, this is one of the fun parts about drinking in the daytime. Here, let me show it to you. Okay, she might say, I can't come to your home. I only just met you. And over here, you want to push her to come to your place by reassuring to her that, look, it's not a big deal and that you're really, really chill. And then you're going to explain the venue qualifiers, okay, the cool things about your home. So you'll say, well, hey, don't worry. Look, you're gonna have a great time. We're both gonna have a great time together, and I think you could tell I'm a pretty chill dude. So, plus I have all these really cool things at my home. I have all these things you're gonna list, and then you're gonna say, and it's also pretty close by. So whenever you're ready to leave, I'll make sure you get back okay. All right. And obviously, again, you're going to fill in the venue qualifiers. So to give you an example, I'll say, like, again, my rooftop. Oh, I'd love to show you. I have a really nice view, whatever. Okay. And if she still won't come with, then you're going to suggest the date at a location that's either in your neighborhood or in the direction of your neighborhood. And this way, when she's more comfortable, it'll be that much easier to get her home because she'll be closer now. Okay. And also remember, if she rejects coming home with you at first, you could always start, suggest the date and then start walking there. And then when she's more comfortable, then you could change it to going back to your home again. You're like, oh, you know what? Forget the coffee shop. We're actually getting along now. Here, we'll get the wine at my home. Look, we clearly warmed up to each other, okay? And you'll see that work a lot of the time, where all of a sudden she just on the way back to the date. On the way over to the date, she just became more comfortable, and now you could get away with it. Okay? Also, if she tells you that she can't come on the date with you because you just met, point out the fact that, well, that's why we're going on the date, is to get to know each other. Duh. Like, make it seem like obviously we're going. That's the only time you would ever use it, right? Now, she might say, well, how do I know you won't kill me if I go back to your home? And you're going to treat this the same way you would the way I explained in the night game section, where first you're going to treat her like she's being kind of ridiculous. Like, why would you ever see me as a serial killer? Obviously, I'm not that guy. So you might look at her and with a sarcastic facial expression and tone of voice, you're like, is that a serious question? And, if she still seems pretty serious about that, they're going to say, look, obviously, I'm not going to kill you. But look, why don't we do this? Why don't we walk there? And if I do anything weird, I say anything dumb, just walk away, just leave, and you'll be fine. Okay. And worst case scenario, even if we get there, because it's pretty close by, and you're still not ready, and you're still not sold on the fact that I'm a normal guy, we'll stop at the cafe that's right near my home, and you'll have plenty of time then to even get to know me. Okay. Really, I want you to trust me. All right. She might say, no, thank you. Now, here she's obviously not giving you much of a reason at all. And in that case, you want to basically communicate to her that this situation is really, really good. And not to mention, you yourself have value. So she's kind of rejecting the whole thing. So you need to build more of the vibe than try again. But the first thing I would say is find out why. So say, why not? And you want to find, by doing that, you're finding out what the real objection is so you can try to answer it. Then in the meantime, you got to build your own value with the way I explained in the vibing section, as well as the value of where you're bringing her, with the venue qualifiers, okay? Next, she could say, well, how far is it? Or I really don't want to go far though. Remember, you got to stay close to the area. You got to have your logistics handled and be living in a situation where it's easy to bring girls back and where once they're there, they want to stay there. So you're going to say, well, look, it's really not that far. It's actually pretty close. It's a few blocks away, or maybe a few minutes away, or it's right around the corner, whatever, how close it is, okay? And remember, you could exaggerate a little bit, under-exaggerate, and you could, say, oh, it's a few minutes away when it's really 10 minutes away, or say it's 10 minutes away when it's 20 minutes away, because what she's really asking is a general idea of how far it is. But you're never going to lie and then tell her it's a few minutes away when really it's an hour away, okay? That's going to get you in trouble. She's not going to trust you when she starts seeing that you're full of crap. She's not going to want to go in your home because she's going to see, well, he lied about that. What else is he lying about? Maybe he really will kill me, okay? She might say, well, that's too far. Now, if you repeatedly hear this, you got to move closer to the areas that you're going out. It's as simple as that. The girl just told you what her problem is, what would make it easier to convert her. And if you're hearing that repeatedly, they're all telling you the feedback of how you could convert them. So don't ignore it. You got to use it to your advantage, okay? So let's say you live a little bit far, just say, well, don't worry, okay? It's really not that far. The time flies by. Plus, we have a really good connection, so it'll go by even quicker. And if coming back is an issue for you, I'll make sure you get back, okay? All right, I have a car, I'll drive you. Or if you don't have a car, say, well, I have an Uber, so I don't mind paying for it if that really makes you feel more comfortable. Okay, that's a great addition. If that makes you feel more comfortable, make it clear you're trying to make her feel comfortable. Now, 3 other really helpful tips to make her feel even more comfortable is one, telling her that you've dated a lot of girls, that you have a lot of female friends, and that you have females in your family, okay? And this way, and that's why you get where she's coming from on the resistance. Okay, so for example, the way you'd word that is say, well, look, I've dated a number of women, and I have a lot of female friends, and I even have a lot of female family members. Okay, I have sisters and moms, and what, or a mom. Okay, and so I totally get where you're coming from, but that's why my biggest focus right now is just making sure that you feel really comfortable, because you're not going to go anywhere with me if you don't feel comfortable. So that's my first priority. Now, the reason why that works, for well, honestly, for whatever reason that works, I think it's just because they want to know you know how to relate to a girl and interact with the girl. Whatever it is, you want to use that to your advantage. Tell her about how you know how to interact with girls because you have females in your life. Now, the second one is telling her, well, don't worry, look, it won't even cost you anything. It'll be my treat, okay? A lot of girls will feel more comfortable knowing that you're treating them for whatever reason, okay? Maybe it's because they don't know where you're bringing them or how much it'll end up costing. Maybe they see, oh, well, he's going to pay for me. Well, that's really cool because, most guys kind of suck today. They don't know how to treat a woman. And that is a really nice gentlemanly gesture that shows her that you have your life together and that you overall know how to interact with a woman that you like, okay? So a lot of girls are going to see them right then just be like, all right, fine. You know what? Let's do it. And I think it's just the gesture that really makes it work. In any case, the third one is putting emphasis on the fact that you're only suggesting cool things to do together because you want to have a good time, but your main interest is that you want to spend time with her. Okay. So, for example, if you say, okay, well, look, we should get wine in my apartment, and she says, I don't drink wine. You're like, all right, well, I mean, it would still be good to go there because I have a really nice view. And she says, honestly, I don't really like nice views, right? Whatever. Then you're going to say, okay, well, look, I really want to bring you there just so I could show you where I live and we could have privacy. And it really is a cool place. But to be completely honest with you, the biggest reason why I'm inviting you is because I want to spend time with you. And I think my place is a place where, well, we could have privacy, but we could both spend time together and really get to know each other, okay? You really want to bring emphasis on, forget about the things that we could do there as much as I want to have fun with you. I want to bring you there because I think it'd be a nice experience for both of us, okay? So those are the most common concerns and how to handle them. And as you can see, there's way fewer in the daytime than there are at night. And that's because, there's way fewer obstacles. And that's why it's easier to pull in the daytime than it ever will be at night, or at least generally, okay? And again, if she's not ready to come home with you after you've already answered her objections, you're going to build a vibe more. And, maybe you already went on the Instate and so on. And after some time, if she's just not ready, and you push it as far as you could go, let's say again with the Instate, you'll get the phone number, you set up the date the way I explain in that section, okay, in the number closing and date setting section, and then you will continue it on later on. And remember, you also want to use as much of the visual proof as possible, okay? Whenever you have the chance, you want to do that. So if, for instance, if she doesn't believe you about how far you're going, just pull out Google Maps and say, look, it literally says right here 7 minutes. Okay, or if you say you have a nice view and she's like, no, I don't want to go. You're like, look, I'm telling you, it's a nice place. Let me show you. I have pictures on my phone because I have a nice place. Like I have a really nice view. And make sure the pictures are really, really good. And make sure you're communicating to her that, look, you're bringing her to a cool place so you guys could have a lot of fun together. That there's a lot of upside and there is no downside.